Hello friends, welcome to my channel of Bad Decisions and Pure Awkwardness. I'm your host Elizabeth. Today I'm drinking elderflower tonic and vodka, a citrus vodka. So that's what this is. This cute little cup I got from a cat lady box. I probably mentioned it before, but it's cute, so worth mentioning again. Today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite spring palettes in my collection. You might not have all these, but these just give me the spring vibes, and I want to talk about them. So let's get started. So the majority of my palettes are going to be from Colourpop and Odins Eye. I have two that are just one palette that I found in my collection that give me the spring vibes. So the first one I'm going to talk about is this Aether Beauty palette, and this is the Rose Quartz Crystal palette. Looks like that, and it is a very, very subdued palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. Very neutral. I do think it's very pretty. Quality wise, it's very nice. I wouldn't say it's any better than some of the shadows that I have in my collection, but still very beautiful. The shimmers are very pretty. It's got these rosy tones in it, so very subdued, very light, which is kind of what I think of when I think of spring looks, just very light and kind of airy, and this is very rosy obviously, so mine's a little beat up, so please don't judge. But I actually got this scent as a gift, I guess. I think I just put it in my email somewhere and got it, and I didn't expect it. I do want to try some of their other palettes. They have a really pretty, it's like a jewel toned palette. Really want to try that. I actually saw it at TJ Maxx and passed it up. But if I see it again, I might pick that up. Let me know if you want to see that on my channel. So the next one is going to be from Glamlight. And yes, I have a lot of Glamlight palettes. I have 5. This is one of 5. This was my first Glamlight palette. So this was my first experience trying Glamlight. Now, please don't judge again. This one is very well loved. It is one of my favorite palettes in my collection. As you can see, this wore off. That right there in the background is from the collection. So it was like the little PR box. And this is what it looks like. You've got a lot of very pastel colors, but you've also got some of the more darker or jewel tone colors as well. I use mostly the pastels, if you don't notice. A lot has gone into that one and this one. Very pretty tones. I think that the formula is really good. I've used a lot of this one as well. It's a very pretty, like, shimmery topper shade. But yeah, you can do a lot of like springy kind of looks with this too, just in a different direction than that last palette. Now we're going to talk about Colourpop. So Colourpop has a lot of palettes, obviously. They have like a palette every month or every week, it seems like. This is very similar to the Rose Quartz palette from Aether Beauty. Now, this is warmer tones, obviously, but I feel like it gives spring vibes just because of the peachy tones. And as you can see, very beautiful. This right here, gorgeous shade. I'll swatch it for you. I think it's a Super Shock color or Super Shock shadow. So, oh my gosh, just so pretty. There are 2 pressed glitters in here, but I don't mind them. They seem to work fine. This one's especially beautiful because it's like, it's got some peachy tones, but also some like warm, like burgundy tones as well. It's very beautiful, like that color. So highly recommend this palette. It's just a basic everyday palette, but very beautiful. The next palette is from Colourpop also. These next few are going to be from Colourpop. This is the Garden Variety palette, and obviously from the packaging, it is just so cute. I love succulents, and this is just the most adorable packaging. I got this from a friend, so thank you, Katie, for sending this to me. And this is what it looks like in the inside. And I think it's pretty true to the name, Garden Variety. Very much matches the packaging of the succulents. So you've got your purples, your greens, your pinks, your peachy tones. Like this one, I believe, is also a Super Shock Shadow, so that's what that looks like. And that's what it looks like swatched out. It's another like neutrally palette, but you've got pops of color like this purple and the green. So very cute. Next, this could be debatable. This could go summer or spring. I wear it a lot in the spring. This is the Limoncello palette from Colourpop. Again, adorable packaging. I was not even going to pick this up. I was like, that is boring. But it has become one of my favorite palettes in my collection. I expected it to be just kind of like a boring neutral palette. But you've got really pretty pops of color. So you've got your blue and your green. And yes, it's a neutral palette with a pop of green and yellow. Or green and blue. But this blue is probably one of my favorite matte blues in my collection. It's like a cornflower blue. So that's what that looks like. It probably doesn't show up on my camera that well. And then you've got the green, which is Capri, which is a very pretty color. And I have found I can do a lot with this. This would be a really good palette to like travel with. Because you do have your neutrals, but you do have a few pops of color. So I really like it, and I think it matches the packaging very well. And look how cute this little lemon is on the mirror. Adorable. Next we have Meant to Be. I'm going to be very careful with my palette because I do have a broken shade, and that is Play It Cool. But this is my palette. It is beat up as well. I don't know what I do. I'm very rough with my makeup. But again, pastel, very simple, very easy to come up with a look. You can even go a little darker with this shade. It's not super dark, but it is a really good matte. So there's that. And then I'll swatch Mint Tea. Ooh, that's so pretty. That one right there. So beautiful. Actually, that's a pretty cool color story. You might find you'll come up with the same kinds of looks. I find with this brighter green, kind of shakes things up. And then this one's a little darker as well, but more of a teal color, so you could go more on the teal side. But yeah, that's one of my favorites as well. Then we have R and Out from Colourpop. Now this one is more of a bright color story, but I still find myself using it a lot in the spring because there are pastels. Now this one does have a pressed glitter right here, just something to be aware of, but it is a pretty pressed glitter. I don't mind it so much. That's it right there. And this definitely has a Super Shock shadow, this one right here. It's very creamy, very buttery. And this would work very well with the Meant to Be palette. This palette would be a good companion palette, but you do have your pop of like bright greens. So there's that one. I'm running out of space here. That top one is called Healing Heart. Very cute. Lastly, I'm going to talk about Odins Eye, which is one of my favorite brands. Now, I'm going to be swatching a good bit of these palettes because I think they're beautiful. I actually have 3 Odins Eye palettes. So this is the Saga of Freya, Chapter 1, Tears of Freya. It is the Amber Tears palette. And just look at the packaging. I mean, if that doesn't scream spring, I don't know what does. But this is what the inside looks like. Rosy tones and purple. This shade right here, Tears, is stunning. If you haven't tried Odins Eye shimmers, and like they're, I don't know if this is a multi-chrome or duochrome or what it is, but if you could see it right there, it is a gorgeous, like shimmery, kind of purpley topper shade. You can kind of see the shifts there. It's like a purple, gold, silver almost. It's beautiful. But yeah, I find myself leaning towards this purple especially. Ooh, this one too. These two. Ooh, this gold. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. This matte coral shade. I'll swatch that one too. I mean, look at that. I just want to swatch all of them now. And this purple shade is amethyst. Very beautiful tones. When I think of spring, I think of like very flowery color stories like this, like the other ones that I showed you, like Garden Variety or Sweet Talk. Just very like florally colors. In the same collection, I also got the Saga of Freya Chapter 2, Cat with the Golden Carriage. I just think this is like I know I'm a cat mom, and I love cats, but it's more than that. This is just the cutest little packaging I've ever seen. Like, look at this cute little fat cat on the front. Oh my god. Speaking of fat cats, mine just walked in. This is the Cat's Breath palette. And again, we have pastels, we have warmer tones. I just think this is such a cute little palette. I love the details of the gold and the flowers on the edge. Yeah, it just reminds me of spring. I'll swatch a few. These are some of the shimmers. So we have Cat Star, which I think is just freaking adorable. Wool Ball, again, stinking cute, and Bling. So those are the shimmers or a few of the shimmers from the palette. You've got gold, you've got kind of silvery tones. I just really love the colors of this palette, and I like the contrast of the orange in this as well. You could even go fall with this. I don't really wear colors according to like my eye color or my whether I'm a fall, spring, summer, winter, whatever the hell that is. And I don't really go according to, you know, the time of year, but I do find myself leaning towards like brighter or pastel-y colors, just very colorful colors in the spring. But you could go fall because there are deeper shades in this, in the orange. So you could go neutral and fall in this. The last palette I'm going to talk about like just screams spring to me. And that is the Odins Eye and Angelica Nyquist eyeshadow palette. So that's what the outer packaging looks like. And then this is what the palette looks like. Very cool packaging. This is probably one of the coolest like pieces of artwork I've seen from Odins Eye. I just love their vision and their creativity, and I think this is like the perfect example of what Odins Eye does. This is what the color story looks like. I mean, you got pinks and greens, especially those grassy greens. But then you've got darker tones too, so you can use this like any time of the year. But like today, I am wearing the greens and the pinks and the peachy colors on my eyes, and I think this is like the springiest look you can get with pink and green. So I really love this palette. This is probably my most used Odins Eye palette. Yeah, I'd say it is. It's just beautiful, and there's so much you can do with it. There's this multi-chrome. I mean, now we gotta swatch these because they're beautiful. My hands are a bit stained and sparkly, so you might not be able to see all of these colors super well, but there's a few of the shimmers. This one right here is the multi-chrome called Double Sided, it looks really great over top of eyeshadow, especially. I used it as a highlighter today. I don't know if you can see that. I can see it. It's very pretty. This one is called Hellfire, and it's this beautiful like peach gold shade. And then this one is called Venom. It is a very grass bright green shimmer. It is probably one of the prettiest greens in my collection. I'll swatch a few more, why not? So we have Golden Bridge and Fluorescence. This is like a bright yellowy green, very neon. This one is Golden Bridge, which is like more of a grungy green shimmer. All so pretty, all remind me so much of spring colors. So that's all that I have for you today. I know that was a quick video, but I just wanted to share with you my favorite spring palettes. Let me know what your favorite spring palettes are down below, or your favorite spring colors. And yeah, let me know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.